Well, I guess what the interesting thing is that the perhaps subconscious business model of not only the jam scene but also perhaps even yourself is actually the model that a lot of people are circling back towards from a lot of different genres now.
Yeah, well, it's one way that you can. I have this weird slapback delay for you on when I'm talking to you. Let me see if I get rid of that with that delete. So no, it's still there. Hang on. I imagine you're listening on speakerphone.
Yeah, can you hear me better?
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Oh wait, here we go. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. I imagine it's people can only do what they do. They can only please themselves musically, and you can't really go and try to play someone else's music. You can't really try and play what's happening on the radio and be real about it. So I'm imagining that the circle, it's not really a circle back. Maybe it's a circle back of people listening to it. I think musicians, and they never really go anywhere. It's just it just comes back around because sometimes people want to hear other musicians playing instruments.
Yeah.
That's always cool to have that little pocket of people that want to hear people play instruments.
Where does that very carefree nature of yourself on stage and in person, where does that come from within you?
I think it comes from me being an audience member, and what I would want to see, the last thing I want to see is any kind of drama or conflict. There's definitely dark songs and minor keys, but that's different, as far as like stage presence goes. I mean, I want to, if I'm in the audience, I want to feel comfortable. And so that's kind of, I make sure I'm comfortable on stage to try to give off that vibe of hoping that people are comfortable in the audience enough to where they can be uninhibited.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, in the next year, you will be turning 50. Obviously, that is not old by any means, but it is a milestone, and I was curious about as you approach that number. What is your perspective on not only life but also looking back on the road to the here and now?
Well, I've got nothing but love and just pure amazement for the fact that I'm still able to do what I'm doing, and I couldn't really have done it without people coming to the shows, and especially promoters who bring me to that, that bring the people to the shows.
Yeah.
And I guess once I set my mind to it as a teenager, I knew this was going to be the path. And it was like the mentality from the get-go was like, I'll do it, in the median, if I have to.
Yeah, there definitely comes a point where you have, at least hopefully early on, a conversation in your head where you say, hell or high water, this is what I'm doing, and then everything after that is just details.
That's right. And I got comfortable in a bucket seat, woke up in a rest area, slammed on the brakes a few times. And that kind of, made you stronger. And then a lot of the whole Grateful Dead world, I learned how to travel thrifty, in my own world of playing music as a solo act.
Yeah.
And we're talking like, early mid-90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of got off the track there.
No, but you're definitely on point though. I think because it's one of those things where myself as a writer, there was a lot of crappy years in there pushing through when the economy was bad. But I had already had that conversation that this is what I'm going to do. Just keep pushing ahead.
Yeah, that was exactly like 2007, 2008, 2009. I think that was a tough time to be on a tour bus.
So, in having a life though of creating music and performing music and traveling the world and interviewing or being around all these different people that you've interacted with, what does that taught you about what it means to be a human being?
Well, as a performer and being on stage in front of people that are paying to be there, as a human being, the way the way my life is right now, I have a job, and that is to make people maybe forget the outside and join in my imagery.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my purpose, other than, being the absolute best father and husband that I could possibly be. And that's definitely the first. But in order to support everybody, the second is definitely right there and gives me a reason to play 110 shows, which I probably would anyway, because I truly enjoy it, and I do it for free, and I get paid to be away from them and to deal with, middle seats on misconnections and things.
Yeah. Well,
that's where the pay comes in.
So at
least I'm getting paid, But the stage stuff is all, for the joy and love of that kind of energy that's brought, and that's kind of what I've learned, I guess, as a human. That's kind of my job until they stop coming.
Well, it seems like you come from maybe like it is what it is kind of thing. Like I might as well have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, first priority is head. Take care of head first.
Yeah.
Have a good time. Hopefully, the rest will fall into place.
Yeah.
I take having fun very, very seriously.
I love the irony in that statement.